Hi student, welcome to botany class. Today we are going to see the leaf, the parts of plant. So among them, today we are going to discuss the leaf. So what is the leaf? It is a flattened structure and it is originated from the node of the stem. The leaf are originated from node of the stem, and it is a main site for the photosynthesis and also the transpiration and exchange of gases. So these all carried in the leaf, and it is a main organ for the photosynthesis in the plants. Leaf. Next we are going to see the leaf, which is a green, thin, flattened lateral outgrowth of the stem. It is a lateral outgrowth. It is originated from the node. It is a thin and green, flattened outgrowth of the stem. And leaves are the primary photosynthetic. It is a primary organ for the photosynthetic. Primary photosynthetic organ, and it is a main site for the transpiration. So transpiration means the loss of water from the aerial part of the plant body, especially through the leaf. The water vapor. The water, it will convert into water vapor and it reaches to atmosphere. That is a transpiration. It is a main organ for the transpiration because it contains the number of stomata. So stomata, it not only helps for exchange of gases and also it mainly take part in the transpiration during the daytime. And all the leaves of the plant together called phylum. The entire leaf of the particular plant is collectively called, that is a phylum. The leaf is a lateral appendage of the stem. It is a lateral appendage. Already we know that. So here I mentioned it is a lateral outgrowth. So next we are going to see the characteristic feature. It is a lateral appendage. It born at the node of the stem. The leaf is born at the node of the stem. And it is an exogenous in origin. It is not endogenous, it is an exogenous in origin. Exogenous means from the surface. It originated from the surface of the stem. And it has a limited growth. For specific plant, they have a specific structure of leaf. It do not grow further. It have limited growth. The leaf always is at a limited growth. It does not possess any apical buds. It does not possess any apical buds. There is no more buds. So mainly the leaf is consists of three parts. That is a leaf base. This region is called leaf base, and the stalk of the leaf, that is a petiole, and the broad region, that is a lamina. Leaf base means the particular region, it will be attached, the leaf region is attached with the stem. That region is called leaf base. And petiole, the stalk of the particular leaf, it connects the lamina and the leaf base. It is a junction point between the lamina and the leaf base. And lamina, the broad region, the flattened structure, that is a lamina. The lamina of the leaf, it is transversed by vascular stand through the midrib. So through the midrib, it will transfer with the vascular tissues. It is called veins. So this region, it will be transversed. This region is called veins. So it's a midrib, it's a vein. And is further divided to form veinlets like that. Next, we have characteristic features over. Once I repeat, it is a lateral appendage. It born on the node of the stem. It's an exogenous in origin, limited growth, and it do not possess any apical buds. And it consists of mainly three parts: leaf base, petiole, lamina. And the lamina it transversed by a vascular stand, that is a vein. Okay, so that's all about the characteristic features of leaf. Let's restore. We are going to see the function of leaf. So like in root and stem, the leaf also have a primary function and a secondary function. So what are the primary function? Let's see here list out the primary function. The main function of primary function of the leaf is photosynthesis and then transpiration, exchange of gases and protection of buds. It gives the protection to the buds, that is the young flower. The conduction of water and dissolved solute. So the leaf primary function, first one is photosynthesis, second one is transpiration, third one is exchange of gases. During the daytime, most of the plant during the daytime it's intake the carbon dioxide, release oxygen. Most of the plant. In night time it is vice versa. It's intake the oxygen, release the carbon dioxide. But some exception is there. Some of the plant during the daytime, during the night time it will be intake the carbon dioxide and release oxygen in some of the plant, not especially for the succulent xerophytic plants. Okay, and it gives the protection to the flower buds. That is, buds mean flower buds, and it helps for conduction of water and dissolved solute. This is a main primary function of the leaf. Next, we are going to secondary function of leaf. So it's not a primary; it is an additional function. Some of the leaf do the additional function. For that, it will be modified. For example, the storage. It means store the food material or water like that. Example, aloe and acai. It acts as a protection, like in Opuntia and Argemona mexicana. So here in Opuntia, the leaves are modified to spine. So spine is a protective organ. In Opuntia, the leaves are modified to spine-like structure. During the secondary function, depending on the function, leaves are modified. Support, example, Golarisa and Nepenthes. Golarisa and Nepenthes. Reproduction, bryophyllum. The leaf act as a reproductive organ. It forms some of the foliage buds. It forms the foliage buds. This foliage bud later develop. It will be detached from the parental leaf and develop into a new young one. Bryophyllum, Begnonia and Jamea. So these are the additional or secondary function of the leaf. Primary function means photosynthesis, transpiration, gaseous exchange, okay, protection, and finally conduction of water and dissolved solute. But the additional function, that is a storage, protection, support and reproduction. It's an additional function or secondary function of the leaf. So next we are going to see the parts of leaf. Already we see that in the characteristic features of leaf, the leaf is have the three main parts. That is a leaf base, petiole and lamina or leaf blade. Lamina or leaf blade. So the three major parts of the typical leaves are leaf base, that is hypopodium. So leaf base generally called hypopodium. Petiole, mesopodium. Lamina, epipodium. So these are the alternate names: hypopodium, mesopodium, epipodium. Hypo mean basal, meso mean middle, epi mean top region. So basal region hypopodium, middle region, that is a petiole, mesopodium. It is a tip region of the leaf, that is a epipodium. So let's see the one by one. So the parts of the leaf is attached to the node. It's attached to the node of the stem. Is called leaf base. So that is a leaf base. Here, you see that the part, which part it attached to the node region, that is called leaf base. So here also, that is a leaf base. Usually, it protects the growing bud at its axial. Why the leaf base are present? Because in between the stem and the leaf angle, the axillary buds are developed. These axillary buds are protected by this leaf base. Okay. Next, the pulvinous. So it is some kinds of the, especially for leguminous group of plant. The leaf base are differ from the other group of the plants. So how they differ? Because it will be swollen structure. The leaf base, more or less, it will be a swollen structure is present. So that is called pulvinous. The legume leaf base become broad and swollen. Legume. Legume means all doll variety. Okay. Which is known as pulvinous. Example Clitoria, Lap, Cassia and Puta. So here it is a swollen. It's not normal leaf base. So it's a normal leaf base. But it is slightly swollen. It is slightly swollen. That is a pulvinous. So setae leaf base. So another type of the leaf base, that is a setae leaf base. Especially for monocot plant. The setae leaf base is very common for monocot plant. Many monocot families such as Ericaceae, Maiaceae, Gingibraceae and Poaceae. These all monocot. Ericaceae, Maiaceae, Gingibraceae and Poaceae. So the leaf base is externed into the seed. Externed into the seed and the clasp pod or hole. It will be clasped in the pot. When clasped in, it will be surrounded. Okay, either the pod or wholly. Wholly means fully. The whole of the internode. Okay, that is a setae leaf base. Such a leaf base is also, it will be leave there a permanent scar on the stem when the leaf is fall off. That is very, very important. So, the leaf base is also leave the permanent scar on the stem when they are fall off. Which one? The setae leaf base. Next, petiole. So, leaf base is over. Next, we are going to see the petiole or style or mesopodium. So, petiole, the other name, style or mesopodium. So, meso means middle. Okay. So, it is a bridge between the lamina and the stem. It acts as a bridge between the lamina. Lamina means the broader region. Okay. Between the lamina and the stem. That is a petiole. The petiole or the leaf stalk. So, generally it's a leaf stalk. The technical term is petiole. Generally this is called leaf stalk. But the technical term is petiole. Is cylindrical, subcylindrical or flattened structure. Whatever it may be. So, the structure of the petiole. It may be cylindrical or subcylindrical or flattened structure of the leaf which join the lamina with the stem. So, what is the main role? It will be joined the lamina and the stem. It is a middle region. It connects lamina and the stem. A leaf with the petiole are said to be a petiolated. So, petiolate means the leaf have stalk. The leaf have stalk. That is a petiolate. If the leaf do not have the stalk, means the particular leaf is said to be sessile leaf. This is a petiolate leaf. And suppose the leaf stalk is absent, means the particular leaf is called sessile leaf. The leaf with the petiole are said to be petiolate. Example, the ficus and the hibiscus. Not only that, here they give some example. Okay, so most of the plant have the petiolated leaf. The leaf that does not or do not possess a petiole is said to be a sessile leaf. Example, Calotropis. So this is a sessile leaf. It's a petiolated leaf. Sessile, it directly, in the lamina, it directly attached to the stem. Okay, but here they have the middle region. That is a stalk region. Next, the lamina or leaf blade or epipodium. Leaf blade or epipodium. The expanded flat green portion of the leaf. It is expanded. And the flat green portion of the leaf is a blade or lamina. It is a site of photosynthesis, gas exchange, transpiration, and most of the metabolic reaction or occur. Not only for photosynthesis, gas exchange, transpiration, and also most of the metabolic activities occur in the leaf blade or lamina. The lamina is reinforced by the midrib. So this is a central, the middle region. It will be divide lamina into equal portion. That is a midrib. It divide the lamina into leaf blade. That is a midrib. So midrib is a continuation of the petiole. It's a continuation of the petiole, which arise a numerous lateral veins. So this midrib it will arise in numerous lateral veins and a thin veinlets. So, first which is originated from the metric, that is a vein, and the vein is again laterally divided to form the veinlets. Okay, so all are interconnected with the vascular tissues. The lamina shows the great variation. So lamina is not a common structure and common shape for all group of plant. So the lamina, it will be vary in the shape, size, everything from plant to plant. So what are they? In the shape, in margin. So margin, it may be, this is a smooth margin. It's a smooth margin. It's a serrate margin or tooth-like margin. It is a serrate, tooth-like, but it's a smooth margin. Surface. The surface is maybe smooth or glabrous. Glabrous, the hair-like structure will be present. And texture. It is soft or it may be hard or it may be succulent. Color. So most of the leaves are look like what? Green in color. But some hybrid variety, it has the various color. The leaf has also various color. Venation. That is important characteristic feature for the classification of the leaf. Parallel and reticulate venation. So here it's a reticulate venation. So that is a parallel venation. It's a parallel, it's a reticulate. Parallel venation is a characteristic features of monocot. Reticulate venation is a characteristic features of dicot. Okay, and incision. That is a dividing, how the leaf are divided. Whether the leaf are entire or it will be divided into many leaflets like that. That is an incision. Next, vestibule. So the another region, it will be present near the leaf or leaf stalk. The most of the dicotyledon plant, the leaf base. So that is a leaf base. It bear one or two lateral appendage. That is leaf-like appendage. Leaf-like or hair-like appendage. It is called stipules. That is called stipule. So here, the leaf-like appendage. That is a stipule. It present at the base region, leaf base region. The leaf with the stipule are called stipulate. So previously we have seen that the leaf which have the stalk, that is a petiolate. The leaf without stalk, that is a sessile. Like that, if the leaf have the stipule, that is a stipulate. Suppose the leaf do not have stipule, mean that is exstipulate or estipulate. Exstipulate or estipulate. So here, the leaf without stipule are called exstipulate or estipulate. The stipule are commonly found in dicot. So stipule is a common structure for dicot. So what is the stipule? It's a pair of hair-like appendage. It present at the leaf base region. If the leaf has the stipule, mean the particular leaf is called stipulate. If the leaf without stipule, the particular leaf is called exstipulate or estipulate. Some grasses like monocot, the additional outgrowth are present between leaf base and the lamina. Between leaf base and the lamina. That is called a ligule. That is called ligule. So that is. So it is a sheath-like structure. So here, that is a ligule are present between what? Leaf base and the lamina. That means near the petiole region. That is called ligule. Especially for monocot. Especially for monocot. Sometimes a small stipule-like outgrowth are found at the base of leaflets, especially for compound leaf. Especially for compound leaf. Okay. It's called stipule. Stipule, this is called stipule. So stipule-like outgrowth which is present in the leaflets of the compound leaf, that is called stipule. Okay, the main function of the stipule is to protect the leaf in bud condition. So here, it's a leaflet, this is a stipule, the outgrowth, the stipule-like outgrowth. So that is a stipule, it present at the base of the petiole, but here it will present at the leaflet. So each one is considered a leaflet in compound leaf. In compound leaf, the lamina are divided into many structure, that is a leaflets. Okay, so if the stipule is present in the base of the leaflets means that is a stifle. Okay, so it will protect the leaf during the bud condition. So that's all about the structure of leaf and parts of the leaf and characteristic features of leaf. Please move on. Next class we are going to see the venation. The arrangement of the vein in the leaf, that is a venation. They are broadly grouped into two types, that is a reticulate venation and a parallel venation. So in the next class we are going to see the venation and its types. Thank you, student. That's all about the leaf.